Hello, we are back in Wales for Small Business Saturday UK in the run up to Small Business Saturday, which is the 4th of December. And I am joined by the lovely Jen Griffiths, who is a pianist. That's such a hard word to say, Jen, I have to say, in Anglesey. Welcome, Jen.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm okay, thanks. Hope you are too.
Yes, I'm good. What's the weather like in Anglesey today?
Windy, but sunny.
Yeah, well, do you know what? I'm in Belfast. We're really not that far geographically, really. It's kind of the same.
Glad it's not raining.
It's not, well, that's good. The ground is wet, but it's not actually raining right
Yeah.
now. So you can walk your dog, but your hair will be blown everywhere. Jen, tell us a little bit about yourself, please.
So I'm known locally as the Tropic pianist gamer, and today I'm going to focus on my story of how I got there and the piano bit, because obviously piano. I'm in my studio now, so you may notice my cool wallpaper, which is a kind of unique selling point as an alternative type of piano tutor. So I've got my piano to the left of me here and my desk to the right of me. I won't do a tour of the studio right now.
Oh, can we not see your piano? Can we see your piano?
I'm very balanced precariously with my laptop, so if I move it, everything's going to fall apart. So not today, but yeah. So basically, I teach from here, exclusively in my studio, which I've only been able to do since April this year. But before that, it was in the main part of my house where all the distractions were. So I mentioned I'm a gamer as well. So I'm actually head of Nintendo Players UK, which is the biggest gaming fan hub in the UK and Ireland.
Oh, cool.
So you can imagine what kind of distractions I had in my old study where I used to teach piano. It's like Mario hanging arrow stars and all sorts of things and key rings. So it's nice to be exclusively in, well, it's my Galaxy theme. I'm
in the
my
piano world.
Galaxy theme. So my studio is like silvery grey with purple skating boards and cool wallpaper.
Oh, so lovely.
My children, the children who come to me for lessons have fun in a different kind of way, I suppose.
Yes. So how long have you been a piano tutor?
So I started in 2016, but what I was going to say was I'm also a best-selling author of the book Scene. So I don't know if you've heard of Scene. I know one of the people this morning mentioned the same book. So I wrote the first chapter, and the chapter was titled When I Was Scared of People. Right. So bit of a backstory. I've got a generalized anxiety disorder, which was quite severe, and I've had it from age 13. I was only diagnosed at 27, and I'm 35 now. I started piano just before my 30th birthday, and I was still deep in anxiety then. So I started piano teaching while being scared of people, if that makes sense. So I struggled to grow in the first couple of years, and I didn't know how to talk to people, or I was scared to reply to people. If anyone phoned me, I'd be scared to phone them back, you know, so that's like how not to be a piano teacher. So I let people find me by accidental word of mouth or posters that a friend put up for me.
Right.
So by the time I had my baby in 2017, I'd got like a good sort of base, but I was still nowhere near where I wanted to be. So fast forward until 2019, I was just about growing enough to be happy with my income, but I was still deep in anxiety and relying on word of mouth.
Yeah.
Fast forward again, we hit lockdown. All panic ensued. So there's a big story in lockdown here where I had to work out how to go online. Now, I live on Anglesey.
Yeah.
And believe it or not, in 2020 and 2021, it's not uncommon for people of Anglesey to not have proper internet, which is quite hard to believe in this day and age, but it happens. So I had 2/3 of loss of my business at the start of lockdown 1, and I panicked. So that's where the first bit of my brand comes in. So we'll leave that aside. But so pianist, how do I go online? Well, I just went for it. FaceTime, Skype, Zoom, whatever people would take. I was flexible. I didn't have the setup. Being a gamer, I'm into video games and tabletop games. So I had a giant Jenga tower. So that's what I made do with. For the first lockdown, I had an iPad on a giant Jenga tower, and that's how we survived. So it wasn't until the November I finally got a proper stand for my iPad. So I was professionally set up then. But the children liked the alternative stance I'd taken on that.
Of course they would,
I was still really shy. So I just coped with who I had, like retained who I had. And it was by the summer of 2020, I finally started to find the help that I needed to recognise my anxiety disorder for what it was and finally start to find the support groups that I needed.
Oh, good.
So by starting the first thing, it linked me up for the second thing, because I used to go to networking meetings scared stiff with a toddler who wouldn't behave, because I started in a local networking group in 2019 when my kid was 2.
Right.
And my memories of that was drowning out the guest speaker, the kid, and nicking someone's toast and throwing menus at a fellow attendee. So I was like, I can't do this. So I got childcare for the next time, and I was determined to come back and make it work. Because someone told me a long time ago that consistency is key, but I didn't really take it seriously until that point. So I kept going back month on month, and then lockdown happened, so it went online.
Yes.
And I found help. And basically, I found the direction. I finally had something to talk about, because I didn't know how to talk to people originally.
Yes.
I had something to say other than just, I play the piano. Because people like, and what? You play the piano, there's nothing to say.
Well,
you're like,
I would have something to ask you about that.
So I found myself, I found my 3 passions. So obviously that's my brand name. And basically built myself out of that. So I got my brand colours, which is the galaxy themed. I found my name. I started promoting myself. I had things to say in networking. I did all the Follow Fridays and all, the usual things, and basically made a name for myself.
Good.
So I decided that I could share my story of living with anxiety disorder.
And that's where the book came in.
Yes. So I wrote a blog.
Brilliant.
And got noticed and asked to write the chapter in the book.
Okay.
So I came to the stage where it's like, I've done this. I want to inspire other people to be able to talk about their mental health and also share their stories.
Brilliant.
And that's where I am kind of now. Then
where can people get hold of that? Like where can they see that book, Jen?
So seeing the book is available on Amazon. It's hosted by a lady called Catherine Massey, so she's the host. So if you put "Seen by Catherine Massey," it will come up.
Okay, then they can find it, and then they can get hold a copy of that, and they can read all about you. We are coming to the end of our time, and I want to hear about, you've got a Christmas piano recital coming up. Is that correct?
So last year was the very first time I ever went live on the piano, because I was so shy and afraid of people thinking I was rubbish. I
would really like to hear you play the piano.
And I went exclusive in my den. So I've got a Facebook group, which is community, which helped me with my confidence. So I went exclusively live in my den last year.
Brilliant.
But this is the first time I've gone public. Right. So this year I have opened it to everyone. Anyone can buy a ticket and be part of it. It's in a pop-up Facebook group, which is separate to my business.
Right.
So it's just for the concert, and it's available on replay until the 5th of January, because 12th day of Christmas, obviously.
Brilliant. Yes.
And I don't know what the program is, because I'm hoping my audience will choose for me.
Oh, I love it. So
because I specialise in sight reading.
Jen, when you and I are finished talking, can you go back into Facebook and put a link to that event in the comments, so that people can then go and go? There's Tracy says, seen the book. Hi, yes. Tracy. Thanks for joining
Tracy.
So that must be, is that the Instagram account, Tracy?
The book is the Instagram account. There is a Facebook page for it as well. Okay,
awesome. So if you could go in and put a link to your concert, that would be amazing, Jen, and then people can go and check that out. What are you doing in particular for Small Business Saturday on the 4th of December?
Well, funnily enough, the 4th of December is my next community meet for, so the regional group that I run for gaming is Nintendo North Wales. So Nintendo Players U.K. is the hub, and the regional is, so North Wales has got their Christmas event on the 4th of December.
Brilliant.
So it's a handy date.
Excellent. I'm so intrigued by all of this. And you're going to have to go into the comments afterwards and tell us all about all the different areas of your business, because it's really fascinating. Jen, that's all we've got time for today. It's absolutely delightful to meet you. Good luck with the Christmas piano event. It sounds beautiful.
Thank you.
And everyone can go and check it out. And thank you so much for joining me today.
Thank you for the opportunity.